everybody. It's your man James, Mr. Sequential Treasures, back again with some more video action for you. Today is one of my things I do around here. We take a nice little stroll down memory lane, and I dig through my back issues of comics, and we talk about one from the past that I think is great. So that's the name, why it's great, and also why you might want to check it out for yourself. And so let's get into that. But before we do, I want to thank you all for joining me today. Also, be sure to check out the links down below to see some more stuff. And make sure if you see what you like, what you see here in this this issue I talk about, make sure to drop me a like. Help out those algorithms. Also, if you got any comments on the issue, drop them down below. I want to hear what you guys got to say, as always. And please make sure to subscribe so you don't miss all the great content I'm producing around here for all you guys. And if you can, share out some links as well. Let's just share the wealth and get some others in here too. Because got to grow those numbers, as you know. So. But I want to thank you all for joining me today again. And today we're going to be hitting up back from 1986 and Daredevil number 238. And this issue is a little bit kind of a biggie here because it's tied into a major event that was going on in the comics at the time known as the Mutant Massacre. And on top of that, it's also the second issue written by a young Ann Nesenti, who would go on to do probably one of the most premier runs of the book. And so this is very early in her run here, only her second issue on the book, so it should be interesting to see where she starts out. But before we get into all of that, let's set things up here. And so first we'll get rid of me, because I'm not the focus of this. I'm not what's the important part here. And then we'll bring on up our issue. There we are, Daredevil number 238. Now, this is kind of interesting because take note of this. An Arthur Adams and Klaus Janson cover. Something you don't really see too much of is Klaus Janson and Art Adams working together. Their two styles are very, very different, yet when you look at this image here, I really like it. You've got the great detail of Art Adams, and you got the grittiness of Klaus Janson. And so I just think this is a spectacular cover image. You got Sabretooth jumping down at a battle-ravaged Daredevil. You got a woman in the background scared to death. It's all kind of really interesting, and I love the spotlight shot here right on Daredevil. The hero is right in the spotlight, as always. And as we're going to see in this issue, this is also kind of symbolic to something that we'll see talked about in the issue. So definitely, like I said, definitely a very memorable cover by two extremely talented artists. So right off the jump, we're getting something really awesome here. So, and here we are again, another great shot. Just an awesome shot. I mean, look at that shot of Saber. It's so feral looking. He looks like he's out for blood. And that's the art there by Sal Buscema and Steve Leialoha. Again, two artists you don't really see come together very often. And yet, like I said, judging by this nice splash image here, it really was a good marriage. They worked out a lot better than I thought they would. But again, it's really it's really Ann Nesenti who gets this book going. And we're gonna read this right here. The tiger lives by fang and claw. 500 pounds of tensed sinew and coiled power. He is violent even in repose. He sleeps, mates, hunts, kills, and eats. When in captivity or when domesticated, the tiger begins to exhibit unnatural behavior. He paces the limits of his turf, eats stone and dirt, attacks without provocation, consumes his own waste. But that is the animal. This is the man. And I just love that. So already using some alliteration and some almost poetic type overtones for this story. And I just like the way that they're already setting this up for you as to what you're going to see. So this takes place, again, like I said, during the Mutant Massacre. And as you can see here, it's down the Morlock tunnels. And Sabretooth comes along some people who are hanging out, I guess you could say, some ne'er-do-wells perhaps. And he just comes in and starts tearing them up. The guy even tells him, he goes, look, the Morlocks are dead. These tunnels are open turf again. There's room for all of us. And he's like, my tunnels, my turf, go away. Or I don't just put the mark of Sabretooth on your face. I put it across your throat. I mean, so again, showing you just how vicious Sabretooth is. I mean, he's not one to play. He's not as nice as Wolverine. And so he scares the guys off and takes the woman. and said that she's hers. She belongs to him now because this is his turf. And so they run off and leave her stranded. And then we get to see a little bit more with the mindset of Sabretooth. He throws her down, and then again we get back to these great literary captions by Nocenti. Something is missing. His lips curl and his feral rumble rolls deep in his chest. It is the hunger again. The man who goes by the name of an extinct tiger opens up his senses. Within seconds, he tastes, smells, hears all he needs to. The tunnels are empty for miles, nothing to hunt or to be hunted. He is Sabretooth, and he likes to kill, so he tries to get paid for it. These days, the big money is being paid to kill mutants. He's already slaughtered some Morlocks, and he is waiting for the go-ahead to take out the X-Men. In the meantime, there is his mate, and there is sleep. The other thing will come soon. And I just like again, like she mentioned, like a big cat pacing around, its territory, just looking for prey. And that's exactly what you see here in these shots with Sabretooth, especially like the close-up shot here with the shadow across his face. As if it's almost like he's hiding his humanity behind that darkness. And I really like that sort of like symbolic imagery. And again, you see just the terror in the woman's face the entire time. And then, of course, we come in, we see Daredevil. And, what they do here is if they just saw her portraying how she shows Sabretooth, well, this is how she portrays us to Daredevil. Those dank, twisted tunnels lie below Manhattan. This man prefers to stay above. This is Hell's Kitchen, and he is the self-appointed protector of all who walk this turf. A record-breaking leap takes him to the next rooftop. His high jump is several feet past the Olympic record, but who's counting? He pauses, tense like a runner at the starting line. He has no use for his sight, lost in a childhood accident, but the compensating radar sense acquired as a result of that accident tells him all he needs to know. So right there, she's already saying the difference in tone between Daredevil and Sabretooth. And as you can see here, what happens is Daredevil ends up watching a fight between a couple of dogs. He goes, guess these dogs would never share this alley. Animals are pretty selfish when you think about it. At least if man doesn't have to have the instinct, at least if man doesn't have the instinct to give, he learns how. And then he watches the dogs fight, and the better dog wins. Again, this right here is foreshadowing, folks. This is foreshadowing. So you remember this moment right here. So he's again watching the dogs and seeing the one dog to go, and then his radar sense alerts him to some trouble. So he sees a guy being mugged. He jumps in. You see these guys. They already know. Daredevil. Oh, blast it! Not again. Yes, again. So evidently these are guys he's dealt with before. He takes them down in short order. They're no real threat to him. But I love the little bit of like jokiness we get. He goes, "Why do you always run? Just stupid, I guess. We'll be out in a week. Don't I know it? So why bother? Brightens my day." It just there it is, just a little bit of, not exactly the Spider-Man wit, but a little sort of like a little bit of like sarcastic tone. And I like that. I liked having, Daredevil should be a little bit, on that side of like, saying some wise stuff. But he's not Spider-Man cracking jokes. He's more the guy who will say something in a sarcastic tone to you like this. And so that's why I like that. That was a good move right there by Nocenti to play up the personality of Daredevil. But all is not well, because though he may have taken out the villains, he's not exactly getting the just rewards for it. Here's our victim, and he goes, "Look at you, so cool, such hot stuff." And you're waiting for thanks for hero, for the applause? I want to tell you something. I had a store on 40th and 7th, a little flower shop, nice piece of business. Smell of flowers all day felt like the country. Kept my kids in new shoes, once in a while even a silk dress for my wife. But you brought that super soldier nuke here. You two tore up the whole neighborhood. The fires, the guns, it was like bringing back the war. Then boom, and my life is gone. So don't you dare save me from muggers. I'd rather take the chance with the street thugs than have a costumed super bully protecting me. Don't you realize you attract more violence than you could ever stop? And you can see here just the expression, no words, just expression. And again, I love the shading here on the face, the way he does that, the way Lealoa shades the Buscema here. And yet, even in all of it, you're right, friend. You're right, my friend, and you're wrong. But I can't explain it to you. And just takes all his gesture is still pure confidence. The toss, perfect. And so, even though he's not getting the heralds of being the hero, he's still going to do the right thing. Again, this is all leading up to what we all know is going to happen, the confrontation that is coming. Then we get a little side moment here with some kids. These kids are known as, the Fat Boys. These are characters who Nascenti would use throughout her run, to, I guess, maybe give a counterpoint for younger readers to have, an access point to all the adults that because Nascenti's stories aren't. I wouldn't say these are for kids, like little kids, but she knew that she had to have something for a younger audience in here, and that's what she did. So here they are. They're watching a werewolf movie. And the kid gets the idea to, hey, let me throw her a little scare. Throws the cat, and you see here, there it is. And I like the symmetry here with what's happening on the TV screen to what's happening in real life. I like that. That's a nice touch. Again, just little things like this is what really sets an issue off for me. When you get little things like this, it's just a great shot here, showing the horror of the screen versus the horror in real life. I like that. So they get yelled at for it, the parents, and he says he doesn't want his kids hero worshipping from violent role models like on the TV there, and he goes, Dad, the streets are tough. I gotta learn how to be like Daredevil. No, those paramilitary vigilante bullies are the worst. As long as there are heroes like that, there will always be villains. And so he tells him to head off to the library. He goes, of course, Dad, I'll go to the library. I'm not going to hang out with the kids you don't want me to, of course. And, of course, what's he do? Well, he goes and hangs out with the kids, of course, because that's what kids do. And, here they are. Where are they at? Well, they're in the Morlock tunnels. So we all know what that's going to mean. You see right here, here's our slumbering Sabretooth. And you can see here these just like street kids, like you saw like in the 80s back in New York and the urban decay centers of the country, and they're just hanging out. And here, even among them, you have just I claim this spot. Hey, there are miles of tunnels. So chill out, or you'll what? And it's even among them, the feral instincts, shall we call it, are exposed even in man. It's not just animals that have them; man has them too. And that's kind of the thing that she's kind of getting at with this whole story is the feral instincts that are a part of all life, basically. And of course, the noise awakens Sabretooth. And again, just look at that great art by Buscema and Lealoa right here with that close-up shot of his face. I mean, that is like pure terror right here. I mean, that is just excellent art right there, I gotta say. So Sabretooth shows up, and he's threatening the kids. He goes, I have slept and now I hunger. So and our fat boy kid here, Butch, tells him, he goes, the streets are protected by Daredevil. Mess with us and he'll find you and beat you up. Oh yeah, he thinks New York is his. He's the toughest cat around, huh? Sounds good to me. And it's what I do? Poor Daredevil. So right there it is. All this happens now because Sabretooth is looking for a fight. You saw earlier in the issue he was like, pacing around, waiting, tensed up. He wants a battle, and now here he's going to get one. So then we get to the issue here, and we see Daredevil out and about. Thinking on what that guy had told him. He goes, can't get what that guy said out of my mind. It's hard enough to even get up every day and hit the streets to play hero. I have to believe what I do is right. But if the people start telling me to leave, should I stay? And so he's even questioning now, what's he doing? Like, am I making things better in what I do, or is it only making things worse? And of course, he's being stalked, and of course, they both can tell. See, like here, he sees, he hears his heartbeat. It's like a part of a man and a tiger's. And then here's Sabretooth, his sense changed. He knows I'm here. And he's moving quick. I look behind here. Nope, wrong move. And he gets hit. And then there it is. You're good. I'm better. So what? What's going on? Why do you want to fight me? Because you exist. Right here. This is it right here. This is the key moment right here, folks. It may not look like it just from these small, narrow panels, but this is actually the key to all of this story right here. And so there it is. They start to fight. It's one man, the trained man, the Olympic level athlete, the skilled sportsman, the gymnast, acrobat, martial artist, fighter, against inborn guts, visceral instinct, and pure bravado. May the better man win. And remember what we said back early, what I say when he was watching that dog fight, what did Daredevil say? The better dog wins. So you see the parallels they're drawing here. And he even mentioned it, we're pacing, circling, just like the dogs. There it is. And then, of course, things go on. Some bystanders get in, which gives Sabretooth a chance to attack. He goes, why do you want to fight me? It comes with the claws. So the fight goes on. He keeps, and Daredevil gives just a pretty good. I like this shot right here with the multiple angles, different moments, almost like a montage of a fight, and I like that. He gets his hands on me, I'm dead, and all I'm doing is getting him mad. So you can see he knows he's outclassed, but he's trying to drive him down in. He goes, he went for it. Many of those tunnels are pitch black, but you can't blind a blind man. This gives me the edge I need. So now Daredevil trying to use some tactics here against Sabretooth. And he goes down, and his sense of erratic. He's trying to throw me. He goes, I can't shake him. There can only be one way he could be that good, if he can see in the dark. See, they're trying to gauge each other throughout this whole entire. This isn't just a pure slugfest competition. This is of tactics, of feral instinct, of hunter and prey. I like the way this is played. And again, you see here they play it up here with the cat and the mouse, and then Sabretooth's going to jump on him. No, of course he's part cat. How could I be so stupid? And then I just like this. Rather than give page after page of battle, just all the sound effects in there with the classic slam bang poses for battle. And then he ends up, of course, breaking through the wall. He finds the girl. He's still fighting him. He tells the girl to run, but she's tied up. He goes to free her, and he goes, you say you're the biggest bully on the block? You own New York, huh, Devil Man? It's like you dare me, Devil, to take you down. See, again, this is all building up. His feral instincts, Sabretooth's desire for prey. This is what he's doing, and oh no, he's going for his heart. Please, Daredevil, you have to win, so it's not looking good. And then we get a little moment here with Butch and his dad, where the cat has caught the mouse and killed it and brought it to them, and he doesn't understand why. And he goes, the cat is behaving out of old behavior patterns, son. He has the urge to hunt, but has forgotten why. When animals become too domesticated or live in an unnatural place like this city, they're too cut off from nature, from their own instincts. He hungers for the hunt, but will never know why. And so again, there it is. There's our moral right here. This is what we're seeing with Sabretooth. Why is he fighting Daredevil? Why is he, staking out turf in the Morlock tunnels? Why did he grab the woman when he scared the guys off? Because of a feral instinct that he has, but he's lived among, the civilized world too long, Sabretooth had. And so he has those instincts, but he doesn't know why. Why do I want to do these things? I don't know why, but there's something inside that compels me to do them. It's like a thing of nature. And then, of course, the battle continues, and what happened is a body tumbles out, and it's a dead Morlock. And then this is when Sabretooth finally gets it. What's he doing? He sniffs, tilts his head. He's not using his eyes. You're blind, Devil Man. He figures out the Daredevil's blind. Not bad. I'm impressed. He's dead, wild man, which is what one of us will be if this keeps up. The stench of death still smells sweet to you, wild man. And he tells the girl to protect the throat as Sabretooth attacks. He gets a quick little slash in before Daredevil just goes to town. And again, I just love these poses. Again, and all the blast lines. I love the impact stuff. It's so actiony in this sequence. And just again, look at the face here. He's getting clocked in the jaw. It's just Daredevil's going all out. And then he goes, heartbeat weak, losing blood, but she'll live. And so he fakes him out. He goes, she's dead. Now what? What do you do with your kills? And I don't know. It's the hunger. It makes me. It leaves me hungrier. And he comes to understand he's doing things and he doesn't even know why he's doing them. And the realization drives him crazy. And so he just runs. He seems to throw back to another time, another world. When he sees the girl and he says, no, don't worry, you're a prisoner, but you're okay now. He goes, no, that's what was strange. He was so kind to me. He barely touched me. It's like he wanted me, but wasn't sure why. I was scared, but more than that, I felt sorry for him. He's a man trapped in an animal's body. Seemed so confused, like he had an ache he could never fill. He was really very gentle. I'm sort of shocked he hurt me. And then she tells how like she, when she was a kid, she heard stories and about Daredevil that he was like a myth. Sometimes when I'd be out at night and get scared, I'd wonder if you were real. And she goes, and she tells him like, I look up at the buildings at the top and pretend you were there, watching me, protecting me and Hell's Kitchen and my home. Then I'd feel safe. It feels good to know you exist. And, he thanks her, but he says, and that's why I was hunted, just because I exist. Going back to what that guy who was getting mugged told him, So I like this. See, this is the way, in a sense, he always worked with the stories. There was always something behind them, a socio-political thing, but she never forced it in your face. She never told you how to think about it. It was always just, here's what it is, and now what do you think? Because we saw with this, with Sabretooth, he has the desires of the animal, but he's been, as the father said to his son, too domesticated. He doesn't know why he has them anymore. He just does them out of instinct, out of reflex. And when it dawned on him that he doesn't know why he's doing those things, he couldn't stand it, and that's the dichotomy of like, how all people are. Sometimes we do things without even thinking about them. And then when we do them, we're like, why did I do that? And we don't understand why. And, sometimes we do things just to do them. Like, like how the guy told Daredevil, that, you create more problems than you solve. You create more violence than you could ever stop because you exist. Those out there who want to do damage, who want to do even more to take you down, they're willing to destroy everything if it means taking you down, because then that makes them seem tougher. And so in your own way, you're bringing on the very violence you're trying to stop. And you can, there's nothing you could ever do that would be enough to stop it. And again, Daredevil, he's hunted just because he existed. That's what Sabretooth told him. Why are you attacking me? Because you exist. But it's not a reason to do something. It's almost animalistic to think that way. And that's the whole point of this story, is how, like, humans have a choice. We can choose not to do that. We don't have to think like the animal and let a feral instinct overtake all reason, all considerations. And again, this is just a great story that way. I liked how she approached this and used the perfect character, Sabretooth, to show this. And again, it's also, I liked how they tied in the crossover event, but she noticed she didn't really speak on it. She didn't really talk about it. Like if you read the X-Men books at the time where the mutant massacre was happening, that was a big deal. But here in Daredevil, it's almost barely touched upon. You're in the Morlock tunnels, you saw the one dead body, but other than that, you really didn't get any feel for the whole mutant massacre in this. And I like that. That's the way she always like approached these event storylines. She did this later with both the Fall of the Mutants crossover and the Inferno crossover that came out in the previous years following these. And so I appreciate the fact that she could work in that crossover event and yet make it so that you could still read this Daredevil issue, even if you had no concept of what the Mutant Massacre was. And that's not easy to do with some of these events they sometimes try to force creators to work on. But again, I really love the art. You know, I think Sal Buscema and Leia Loa were a great team. Like I said, just so many great shots. You know, the shot of Sabretooth raging when he realizes that he's acting on an instinct and he doesn't even know why. That's just a great shot. Or the one, let's see, where's that back here a bit? Yeah, that one shot here of his face when he wakes up and he just howls. I mean, that's just a great image. I mean, this is the kind of artistry I don't see in modern stuff anymore. You know, they don't have the ability to create memorable images like this, and I really appreciate it. But like I said, Vicenti's run is definitely a high watermark for the character of Daredevil, and this story in particular. Again, just her second issue on the book, and it was very much filled with, like I said, with like a lot of socio-political stuff, you know, human nature and the nature of man versus the nature of the animal, and how, civilized world against the world of the wild. All these things come into play, and she crafts a very well done story that, like I said, is just excellently paced with lots of action and lots of stuff that makes you think. You know, that's the thing too. I think one of the few things about Daredevil that has set him apart from a lot of other, comic book series over the years is, as you read it, it's not just a story to read just to kill some time, but it makes you think as you're reading it. And I always appreciate that about Vicenti's run with the book. It's probably why it's been so heralded and seen as one of the high watermarks of the character over his many years. And again, that awesome cover here by Adams and Jansen, just beautiful stuff. Like I said, I say that spotlight on Daredevil. You know, it's, as I said that's a sort of a symbol. You know, why is he attacking? Because he exists. There it is. That's all it is. There's no other reason. There's no deeper meaning to it. It's just like the law of the jungle. You exist, and I hunt, and so therefore I will come at you. And I loved how she portrayed this dichotomy of how, animal instinct versus human instinct goes. And it's, again, just a very well done story. It's not an expensive one. You know, you could probably go out and find a copy for a good $5 or $10 on eBay. You know, a nice raw copy and read it yourself. And not very expensive, even though it is tied into a major event and has a very headlining villain like Sabretooth in it. I would have thought it might be more money, but no, I was able to find out that no, it's only like about $5 or $10, and you get a very, very nice copy. So yeah, definitely check this out. Daredevil 238. And Vicenti's run as a whole is just incredible. And like I said, this is like right near the very beginning. So I mean, if this is what she's doing at the start, you know it only gets better from here. So again, yeah, Daredevil 238, definitely one worth checking out for anyone who loves great comics that also make you think. And so there you go. There you have it. Another one in the books here. Another Why It's Great. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you got some entertainment out of that. I hope I showed you some stuff maybe from an angle you didn't think about before. And, if I did, like I said, drop some comments in there. I want to hear what you guys got to say. Have you read the issue? What did you think? Did you like the way Vicenti approached talking about, more socio-political topics in the book the way she did it? Or do you think, that it should have been handled differently? I want to hear what you guys got to say. So give me some comments and let me know what you think. I want to thank you all for joining me today. As for what's coming up, well, like I said, this weekend I might try to do a live stream celebrating breaking 200 subscribers here on the channel. So maybe I'll get that rolling. And so I'll definitely give you guys a little heads up if that goes down. And after that, don't have anything planned at the moment, but you never know what's going to pop off. So always be ready. But I want to thank you all for joining me today, and be sure to like and subscribe, and make sure you don't miss any of this great content. And I will be back soon with some more stuff for you. And until then, take care.